Hello and welcome back to the studio where we paint away the stress of everyday life here in South Wales, UK. So I've had a lot of requests for some seascapes and I thought today would be no different. But before we do that and talk about my little walk I had on the coast, let's have a quick look at the palette.
It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time. And don't forget to click subscribe.
So as you can see, I've got a numerous number of colours there. I've got a Prussian blue, I've got a French ultramarine, I've got a cerulean blue, yellow ochre, burnt umber, a midnight black or Mars black, and some titanium white. And I thought today we'd be working on another little bit of cardboard again. So this is a 10 by 12. It's been pre-gessoed and it's had a quick coating of raw sienna just over that, just to take that bright white off the canvas. So today I thought let's have a little look at a seascape. I'm just going to get some burnt umber and a little bit of that black just to darken my colour up, because I went for a walk down the beach the other week and I took some video of some rocks and things that I seen on the coastline, and I thought it would be nice if we built up some sort of painting today with just very close up. It's like when you go and take photographs of something, you know, try to open your mind up and try to look at when you're selecting a photograph that for painting, have a look at composition and things like that. So all I'm doing is just putting a little bit of burnt umber, a little bit of black in, just to give myself some idea of where these things are. Now I am following some reference photos. I'm not going to put them up on the screen because there's several of them all on my wall there. So what I'm using is certain parts of these reference photos in order to give me an idea, but I'm not following them exactly. And this is the thing that sometimes you shouldn't do, is when you start to paint, don't try not to follow everything exactly, especially if you're using reference photographs. If you want to put a rock in where there's not a rock, or you want to put a tree in where there's not a tree, then that's good, you can do that. So all I'm doing is just putting some blocks of colour in. I'm looking at the shapes that I'm building, and I'm thinking, yeah, that could be a good rock there. I'm not worrying about smoothing this in too much. It's quite a dark, and you can see that today I've decided to work from the base of the canvas upwards, because I just wanted to get these rocks in place and give me some idea where possibly this could all sit. So you can just see I'm just pushing in some colour. I'm not really thinking about shape and form at the moment. All I'm thinking about is colour, blocks of colour, shadows, you know, and I'm going to put my highlights and tones in a second anyway. So I might even put a rock there, maybe another rock or something there. There. Okay, so just going to wash my brush. Again, I'm just going to go into some Prussian blue and some French ultramarine blue, or ultramarine blue, it doesn't matter. Whatever ultramarine blue you've got will work for this. Now this is not going to be an horizon line. This is going to be the sea, oops, this is going to be the sea. So we've actually zoomed right into this section of the sea. So we need to get all this built in like this. So what I'm going to do now is just get a little bit of cerulean blue, and I'm going to put a bit of that in and plonk it in here. Like I want some darker colours, I want some lighter colours. Basically what we've done down there, getting a little bit of black in, just to darken up a couple of my phone's gone a bit wonky. These Alexas and things that we use sometimes just do their own thing. I've got an iPhone, so you know what that's called. It starts with an S, so I'm not going to say that now because my phone will go wonky again. I don't want it to go wonky. Okay, so I'm just coming in, bit of lighter colour. Just bringing that in like this. Nice and loose and free, and if you've never painted before, this is something you could quite easily do. It's just a matter of building up sections of colour, some tones, thinking about shape, form. Painting is easy or difficult. It depends what you want it to be, really. And don't fight with the paint. Let the paint just do what it wants to do. In my experience with acrylics, that we try to get them to work too much sometimes. They will only do what they want to do. It's a bit like a cat. Acrylics have got their own mind, like a cat. You can't tell a cat what to do, can you? No, you can't.
Hey, welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time. And don't forget to click subscribe.
I'm just putting a bit of shadow in now. And that's made it very popular for the common person then, the common person to actually go out and start to paint. So it stems from around about that time, around about Queen Victoria's time, that the painting became quite popular for the masses. Other than that, before that, it was just artists that used to do all the paintings, and they used to create these wonderful portraits and things like that, and then all of a sudden then the amateur come along and started to learn all the tricks of the trade. And like anything else, the professionals didn't want you to know all these little tricks and things in the trade. They didn't want you to do what they do, because they can't make a living that way. So that's that, basically. Okay, so let's look at this these highlights now. I want to get a little bit of yellow ochre. I'm going into it like a mid-tone colour, so I'm going to build a little bit of burnt umber and a bit of that black into that colour. I want to bring in some highlights on these rocks like this. Mid-tones, I should say. And this was a lovely walk this day. The sun was out and it felt really spring-like. So just plonk in a few colours like that. Just building up some tones of colour. I'm hoping to go back down the beach again this weekend at some point. Maybe I'll have a look for another seascape to paint, but we can see it started to come a little bit there now. So I'm just going to get a little bit more yellow ochre now this time, just a little slightly brighter colour. I'm just going to touch certain parts where I think the light might catch on these rocks a bit, because they're all everywhere. There's one big mass of rock. Maybe a little bit over there. Like that. Put some seaweed in this later on. Maybe some seaweed, maybe a little pond of water or something there, I don't know. Using the same brush. I'm just going to change my kitchen roll a bit, because I want to get some of this cerulean blue now. Mixing it with a little bit of my medium mix I am, and I want to just put a few wavelets and things in, just like this. There's little flecks of light on the water there. There we are. Now I'm starting to pull in a few. I'm just going to lighten that a little bit. I'm just going to check my cameras are all working, because I've been having problems with my cameras and things. So I'm just going to make sure they are running well. So I'm just going to put a few. All I'm doing is just dragging the brush There's no waves in this today. Whoosh. You know, the tide's most probably going out now, so it'll be less likely to have waves and things. Just slightly dragging the brush across. This is like a dry brush effect, so we're just getting that. Water effect. Trying to paint water is like trying to paint clouds sometimes. It's such a free moving entity, water, and there you go. Building up in layers, building up in layers. So we get some yellow ochre, a little bit of white. I'm still using the same brush, same brush that I started with. So now I'm gonna put in a few. Highlights. On these rocks. Just like this. You can paint these rocks any colour you want. What colour are the rocks where you are? That's important. So I'm just gonna get a different brush, because what I want to do is I just want to put a bit of black in, and I don't want to wash that brush if I can help, because I got the colour I want now. I'm going to get a little bit of black. A little bit of black and a little bit of Prussian blue, because I don't want to put any blue, yellow ochre or anything into it, because there's a lot of blue in that black. So it's going to go green, and I don't want it to go green. So I'm just going to put some shadows in the bottom of these rocks. So just like this. And what that does is just tends to lift the rocks a bit. You don't know where one rock starts and another rock finishes. I'm just picking up little bits of lighter paint on the same brush, just to give myself a few ideas of rocks there. I don't want that one too bright. There you go. Looking good. Wash that brush very quickly. Now I'm going to get some French ultramarine blue and some yellow ochre, and you'll see that should turn green, a greeny type of colour. I'm not going to put any I don't want to put any yellow on my palette, so I'm just going to go with what I've got. Is that good enough? Maybe. No, I don't know. I don't know if I like that, actually. Have I got any green in a tube that I can use? I got a bit of Hooker's green here. This is a very old tube of Winsor & Newton Hooker's green there. I don't know how long that's been in there. Oh look, it still works. There we go. There we are. So always use your little bits of paint up. Always use your bits of paint up. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Put a few. Let's get a little bit of black to that. I want to darken that up. Maybe just a little bit darker. Could be some bunch of seaweed and stuff there. There you go. Anything like that. That'll do. I'll do just a little bit of deep green, just a little bit of green. Looking at this now, I'm wondering whether I can just go a little bit lighter. And just put a few touches of highlight where I think the light might be just hitting. There you go. Washing the brush, a little bit of soap. I need to change my water. Right, so cerulean blue, some white, camera checky time, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4 is all working, sound, pop, pop, pop. Oh, we do have fun. It's a joy making videos and just painting away and having you in the studio with me. It's I really do enjoy this time that I have just to paint, have fun. Let's just put in some highlights in. There's a lot of foam and stuff there. There you go. Just to increase the brightness of this foam. So waves have crashed in and it's left this wonderful foam behind. Come back into some pure white now. Same as we're doing with the rocks. All we're doing is increasing the brightness of what we're putting on. So you've got your like your shadows, your midtones, and you've got some highlights and don't kill all your shadows and things. Leave a few of them in. Bringing in the slightly thicker paint now. Let me just put a little bit more highlight on that rock there. bit of shadow underneath that one. If I put a bit more shadow there, it'll pop out more. See? There you go. And you can put this paint on nice and thick. I contaminated my white a little bit, but it doesn't matter. I want to put this paint on nice and thick now because I want it to look as if it's all frothy and stuff. There you go. No seagulls today, unfortunately. We could paint one on a rock, but I'm not going to. There you go. There's a lovely looking seascape. Give it a try, give it a whirl. See what you can come up with. You can change the tones of those rocks if you wanted to do a different rockscape. Yeah, but just gives you an idea of what to do. When you take your photographs, take as many photographs as you can and use all the elements of those photographs in one painting, and then you'll end up with a study like that, which can be taken onto a larger canvas and you could put a lot more detail into it. I quite like doing study paintings like this because it gives me an idea to advance that painting onto a bigger canvas, and it just grows and grows and grows, and you can get a lot more detail in there. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that's helped. And don't forget to click the notification bell. I upload every Monday at 7:30 Greenwich Mean Time. Thank you very much for joining me in the studio and painting away the stress of everyday life. Until next time, bye-bye.